Of course, we've got Reese. What's your last name, Reese?
Kirkham.
Kirkham. Okay, now don't give out your address because that's enough for creepy people to find you after that. But Reese is going to also sit in with us during the Trauma Comics review. So why don't you met Taff the other day. Taff had called me crying, and she was like, I met the most wonderful little girl. I want to bring her on the show. We're going to have to bump Mr. T. And I was like, well, I can give him a call, but I know he's going to be a little disappointed. But luckily he was willing to switch off for you. So, Taff, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you met Reese?
You know, I think I've seen Reese a few times in, like, awesome costumes. I think I saw you once as a Weeping Angel. Mm-hmm. And then you came out to Keith's Comics. And I didn't even really I didn't make the connection until Mom was like, you know, here's a photo. And I was like, I have this photo. Here she is again, being an awesome zombie from The Walking Dead. And then this past, when we were at the sci-fi convention, you showed up in an amazing Shadowcat costume.
Thank you.
And I was like, hey, this girl's pretty cool. And then, you know, just kind of being there all weekend, I got to talk to Mom and Dad, and, you know, they were, very kind, you know, to talk to me. And then we started talking about, like, her science project and, you know, just kind of stuff she's into. And I was like, this little girl's pretty cool. She makes me feel very unproductive of a 30-year-old. Something. So I figured, you know, maybe we could get her in because just recently you did some stuff with Wipe Out Kids Cancer. Mm-hmm. So I guess we'll go ahead and talk about this. So how'd you come out with the whole Super 6? Where'd that come from?
Well, what we were trying to do is help kids with cancer because I have a friend, Lauren, who has cancer. So my team wanted to do a community need to help kids with cancer. And we had to first come up with a team name. And we felt that we were trying to be super by helping these kids. And there were 6 people in our team. So put that together, we're the Super 6.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And
I wouldn't have come up with even that. I would have been like, I don't know, whatever.
People trying to do things.
Yeah, Bruce.
Human fun.
Well, I like the logo, too, here. The Superman logo with the 6 instead.
Mm-hmm. Who came up with that logo? Did you come up with that? Mm-hmm. That's
really?
Pretty cool.
Good
That's
Lord.
Cool. That's very cool. So, you know, after hearing about that, and you had like an article that was written on you, because this video essentially is supposed to be submitted to a contest or something, and it didn't get aired because there were some problems on their end.
Yes.
So, but they had there was an article that was written about you guys that was pretty cool that someone did. So how was that? How was, you know, getting a little bit of a spotlight on your cause?
It was nice. I'm just glad that we got to help these kids.
It's pretty cool. And
you know, Reese, we've never had an article written about us,
yeah,
so you already went up on us there. That's pretty good.
That is pretty cool.
Maybe mention us next time.
Yeah, maybe you could help us out and give us a little press.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool. And then,
so, how long ago did this start? When did you found this? You said
5 months ago.
5 months ago. And what do you focus on? I know you're trying to help, but what do you specifically do in the group? Or what does the group do to accomplish its tasks?
like you guys donated a bunch of stuff, or you know, you gathered some stuff. You had some help from Zeus Comics. That maybe they gave you some stuff. Yeah, what'd they do? How'd that work out?
Zeus Comics helped us by. Zeus Comics donated 425 comics, but also helped us by doing a 1-month donation drive.
Hey, Reese.
Yes?
See the picture up on the screen right now? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, here is our friends, and we have Sydney on the left, then Catherine, Reagan, Riley, Olivia, and me. Here's at the bottom of the picture, there's all the stuff we got from our donation drive.
Free boxes. All right. Awesome. I can use those. What type of stuff did you donate?
Well, what we tried to do was help kids with cancer by making their stay easier at the hospital. And we donated toothbrushes, hairbrushes, pillows, blankets, as many things.
So sometimes just the essentials that they weren't able to have.
Yes, because the moms had to sleep in chairs. They didn't get blankets or pillows or anything.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anything about that? So you're also donating to the people that are there, just the family members that are helping the kids as well.
Yes.
So generally, I mean, how do you deliver the stuff? Out of curiosity, do you just walk in and hand it to them, or how do y'all do that?
Well, we can't go into the hospital and give the children their bags because we have diseases. Even though we're not sick, we might have diseases.
Right, bacteria and some other stuff.
So we can't give them the bags directly. but we give them to the nurses and the doctors, and they hand them to the kids.
Well, that's great. Do you think that the doctors and nurses take credit? Do you ever think that they walk in, they're like, "Hey, kids, look at all this stuff me and the nurses got for you"?
No, they probably
You
go
think
through the comics first, like, oh, I don't have this issue yet.
Yeah, do you think that maybe the doctors take some of the comics?
No.
I know a lot of doctors.
Yeah, and you guys had like a good amount of comics. How many comics were you guys able to raise and bring to the kids and stuff?
425.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Were a lot of those kids happy? Were they a lot of comic book readers? Were they just ecstatic to get some stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what, Reese, I've actually got 2 boxes of comics at my house that I was thinking about selling. Would you like to have those instead?
Sure.
Okay, great. Well, Carol will be happy. She's been bugging me to get those out. I finally went through and knocked 2 of my boxes collections down. So yeah, if your Super 6 could use them, I'd be much happy to do that. Can I get a receipt for those for my taxes? So, what's the best part about doing this?
Well, we got most happiness when we first saw we got a picture of the first kid that got our buddy bag, and she had the biggest smile on her face. It just made us all so happy. Even one of us cried.
Are you thinking about continuing this? I mean, I could see you doing
Oh,
something like
yes.
this till you're through an adult, or maybe making this into a foundation or something like that.
We're going to be doing it next year as well.
Great.
That's
And
very
how
cool.
long does it take y'all to normally raise? Do y'all have like a drive period, or do y'all take all year round, or how do you do that?
Well, we usually get a project, and then we have so many days to do the project, and then we go to the place where you show your project, and the judges see it, and then you get graded.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. I never got to do anything like that.
Yeah.
No.
When I had to do a volunteer thing for school, I'm going to let you in on something. Don't tell anybody else this. So I don't want anybody at home knowing this. But we were supposed to clean up. I was a bad kid. We were supposed to do some sort of community service act, take pictures of it to prove that we did it. And so we went to a nice, clean strip of highway and took pictures of it. And then me and my friends put trash everywhere, and then picked up a little bit of it and pretended that
Really,
we
no?
cleaned it up. It was horrible.
That is the worst thing ever.
I'm showing her by comparison while I'm teaching the people at home.
That is the opposite
Don't
of
do
charity
it,
work.
Don't do what I do, people at home. Like, this is somebody you need to model your life after right here. This is somebody who's actually doing something. But wow, I mean, that's just so cool, because at your age, I was not thinking about other people at all. Now, granted, I never had
You're
somebody.
not thinking about other people at your age.
Exactly. Even as an adult.
Well, I let them come on the show for $300, didn't I?
Yeah, well,
So
that was
He
a
did give
steep discount.
It was. It was a
Right,
nice
and we lowered that
discount.
from 1,000. But yeah, I mean, I also never had one of my friends. I was never unfortunate enough to have one of my friends come down with something that serious, and so. And I'm glad I never did, but obviously your friend did, and I'm glad to see that you turned that into something positive for not just your friend, but other kids as well and their families. So, I mean, I want to get to this in a minute, because I'm dying to know about this here.
Yeah.
But about the Super 6, how did you said there were 6 of you? How did you get the group together?
Well, most of them I already knew, but there's this new girl in my class, so we wanted to be adventurous and try new things, and also at the same time be caring. So we said, hey, do you want to come join our group? And she said, sure. And then she did a great job, and we made a video, and she just blew everything.
How do you get the word out there to people? I mean, because I know at your age you can't really drive, many places, and you're kind of restricted on who you can talk to and what you could do. And obviously your parents, I'm sure, are a big help. I'm making an assumption on that. For all I know, we're horrible parents. Hi. But so I mean, how do you get out there to spread the word and make these collections and stuff like that? Also, they're very nice people at home. I'm being sweet. All right, but how do you get out there to get the message out there?
Well, over the years, I've met a lot of cool people who know more people who
Over
know
the
more
years.
people.
And over the years, I haven't. It's so weird.
So I know people who know people who know people, and they keep spreading the word, and then those people tell more people about the donation boxes and where they are, and that's how we got many donations.
Where are some of the donation boxes when they're out?
Well, we had one at Zeus Comics, and then we had one, let's see, Olivia's dad's company. I have a friend that is a grown-up named Kevin, and we put a box at his office. And, oh, yes, Keith donated a lot of money, but we didn't have a box there. He just donated.
Got you.
He's pretty good about that.
Yeah,
I work with
Keith's
Keith.
always a
Keith
great
is
guy.
really good
Well,
guy,
so
too.
is Richard and the
Yeah,
Mother
so is Zeus. Two of my
They're both
favorites.
great comics.
You should be in charge of our advertising. Cause
Yeah, I know.
all we do now is stand on corners and yell at traffic.
Can we hire, and not even anything relevant to the show. You're just like, I don't want you.
So we should be taking notes about
I know.
this.
We need to
This
be
is
bringing you
interesting.
onto staff here. So that's pretty cool. Well, gosh, this is just, it's pretty intimidating. I got to
Yeah.
admit. What is, now you said you don't get to visit the hospital. Have you ever met any of the people in person that you've helped or?
No, but like I was saying, we saw that one kid, and she was 4 years old, and she had cancer, but it made us all so happy. But I don't really actually know any, but I know Lauren.
Right. Well, could you hold this up in front of the little camera here,
Yes.
Jenna? Can you show this? Now, this is the logo for the Super 6.
Yeah.
There we go. Now, who came up with that logo?
Well, it was a team effort, but
Look at her, just so good at this.
thank you.
Okay, you can, we'll see your face, but it was a team effort. But I mean, so
But you
somebody
did the
came up with the
design, right?
idea. Or
Yes.
how did you design this? It was Photoshop or by hand or?
Well, I was thinking, like, super. How would you write super? Because I didn't want to be too plain with the design. So, super. I thought Superman, super logo. So I came up with the super and then the 6 in the middle.
How did you? But I mean, did you draw it by hand or did you have somebody else actually create it when you described it to them, or did you do it in like Photoshop? I don't know when kids learn Photoshop nowadays. I didn't learn until I was like 20. But how did you actually make the design after you thought it up?
Well, first we did a sketch of how we hoped it was going to look like, and then we handed it to, I know another grown-up friend named Heather who makes T-shirts, and I told her and showed her the sketch and everything, and she just...
It looks great.
Thank
I'm
you.
very impressed. I do graphic design all day, and this is better than any of mine.
It really is.
So yeah, it's not bad at all. I love the colors. I get like an '80s feel almost for the green and the purple. Was that mauve?
It's pink.
Is it pink?
It's pink, Dell.
Pink. Trying to show off. For all the
Just so
people at
Reese
home.
knows, 80s is where we're from.
Yeah, that's so even way back in the '80s. So
Yeah.
this may bring it around again. God, I had another question there, and I just forgot it. It was about the '80s. What was your favorite '80s movie?
I'm not sure if I actually know one, but I know some 70 movies.
Oh, all right. Let's hear
Break
some
it
of
down.
those. What's some of your favorite
I
70s movies?
think The Goonies, maybe
That's
not.
80s.
That's '80s.
Okay.
No, you're good on that. Yeah.
Then yes, Goonies.
Very nice. What's your favorite movie?
I don't have a favorite movie, but I like Goonies, Legend, Back to the Future,
Very nice.
Stardust, Princess Bride.
Ooh, I love
Princess
Stardust.
Bride.
And Princess Bride. I like Neil Gaiman. a lot.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman's always great. But so is William Goldman. If you like Princess Bride, have you ever seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Ooh, same writer. Pretty good.
Slightly different stories.
It's slightly different stories.
not nearly
It's got
as
two
romantic.
handsome men in it. You may like it. You may have to wait a few years for your parents to let you see that. But that's a great movie too. Well, what are some of your favorite comic books?
I like Coraline.
I love Coraline. That's Gaiman again, isn't it? Yeah.
I like the graphic novel of Wrinkle in Time.
They have a graphic novel of that?
Yeah, it's-
I have the movie and I have all the books. I didn't know they had a graphic novel.
I have one right here.
She came more
She's
prepared
better
to
than
this show.
This is
than
ridiculous.
us.
We're putting her on staff. I'm not joking about this.
It's going to be.
How thick is it? Oh, well, look what I have to order from Amazon today. Can I see that for just a second? This was one of my favorite books, and have you ever read the whole series? The series is pretty interesting. One of the books stinks and it's not that good. You can skip it, but I don't remember which one that is. The other 3 out of the 4 are great.
I like that you said you were going to order it off of Amazon instead of just stealing from a child.
Yeah, because that's
I
what I
can't
was
say that.
expecting.
I can't say that on camera, Jay.
Oh, okay.
That's evidence later for the cops.
Plausible deniability. I
Exactly.
gotcha.
I think the part I really liked about this book is at the very end, it left you in suspense, meaning you have to keep imagining what's happening.
Oh, I like that. You've read the book? Have you read the book?
Just the graphic novel.
Oh, read the book. It's great. But I also have the movie. Disney did a movie of this, and they never released it in theaters. It was like a straight-to-home release. And it's actually I was pleasantly surprised with it, 'cause this is one of my favorite kids' books. Well, I'd say kids, but this is one of my favorite books of all time. So, yeah, if you haven't... Can you read? Have you learned how to read yet? Because you would really look at that face. What an idiot! Why is he talking to me like this? So no, I'll tell you what. Maybe we'll see about getting
You
you a
make
copy
that
from the
face,
show
baby.
and giving it to you, because that's one of my favorites of all time, and
Okay.
I'm sure you would enjoy it. So this is fantastic. I didn't know that this was out yet. Well, see, now you introduced something new to me, and maybe the people at home too. Okay, so we've gone through movies. We've gone through your graphic novels. What's your favorite book, you think? And don't say A Wrinkle in Time, because we know you haven't read that one yet.
Have you ever read Bunnicula? That was my favorite as a kid.
Really?
It's about a vampire rabbit that sucks the juice
Oh,
out
Binoc.
of...
Yeah, that was a great
sucks
one.
the juice out of vegetables, and he just...
You never read as a
Wasn't that later a
vegetarian?
cartoon just called Count Duckula?
No.
Although
they
I don't
did,
know
yeah.
that one.
Well, and then they had the sequel, The Celery Stalks at Midnight.
Yeah.
I have read that.
That's a
I
great
have read
one
the
too.
Celery
I
Stalk.
can't remember you ever
That's
read
funny.
Binocula. That was
Yeah.
such a great book.
I
Especially as a
don't do a lot of
vegetarian.
vampires.
See,
I don't
you
do a
get
lot of
you get the
vampires, though.
vegetarian with the vegetarian stuff in it.
I don't
Though.
do a lot of vampires. Werewolves, robots.
No, robots. That's something everybody
This
can
girl.
agree on.
Vampires.
Robotic
Not
gorilla
so much.
Hitlers.
Exactly, exactly.
The huge.
What about? Do you have like a favorite author? Do you have anybody that you
I like Neil
read-
Gaiman.
You like reading
Great.
him a lot?
Yeah.
Have you
Very
read
cool.
Neverwhere yet?
Mm-mm.
It's
I
don't
really
know.
like
I
that.
would. Well, it's no. First of all, it's great. I was gonna say I don't know if it's appropriate for your age, but I'm thinking she's already like 25 years old and like what she's accomplished. So then your parents were saying that you like, comics where heads are being split open and zombies and pulp. So I don't. You know what? I take that back. You should probably read Neverwhere. It's,
It's not that graphic,
yeah.
honestly.
And when you get done with it, maybe you can tell me a few of the things that I missed in it, because I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that's a great Gaiman one. Did you he wrote an episode of Doctor Who? You know he wrote an episode of Doctor Who? Do you know which one that is?
I think.
Did you ever see the one where the TARDIS, they take the soul out of the TARDIS and put it in a girl?
Yes.
That's the Neil Gaiman one. Yeah, that's one of my favorite. I didn't know that was him when I first watched it. I was like, oh, this is one of my favorite episodes. But he had been asking to come on since season 1, and they could never find a place for him to come in on the show. And finally, he found some time to write this script. But yeah, that's one of my favorite ones, and that's so cool. You like Gaiman. Most kids I know don't,
Exactly.
or don't know who he is. I guess would be more accurate. So, what else do you like to do? What are some of your hobbies besides helping kids? That's lame.
You go to the conventions, right? You do a little bit of costuming.
You gonna be at AllCon with us?
Yes.
All
How do you
right.
go about picking what costume you want to do? Like, how do you decide?
Well, like, for example, the first year, I didn't know you could dress up for Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
And then I saw you and Lars, and I'm like, okay, that would be cool. I want to dress up. So,
Exactly.
Jay's only 3 feet tall. This is a costume he wears.
It's true. I'm actually standing on my chair.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
it's fine.
He's not really
Oh, yeah, because
sorry.
that's your Shadow Cat
Oh,
photo, right?
wow.
That's us from
Look at
Dallas Sci-Fi, right?
Yep.
Oh, you had a little Lockheed on your shoulder.
I could move him, mouth and tail, and
cool.
head.
Yeah.
And that's, I assume, is that Weird Science?
That was
Okay,
my costume from
that's
Weird
what I figured.
Science. Some people just thought I was just there being comfy pants, but whatever.
No, that's still probably my favorite movie from the 80s. I got it.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
So
Exactly.
Well, that's an impressive costume. Now,
And
who do you do all those by yourself? Do you have help, or how do you create those?
My mom does the makeup.
Because I can't even dress myself. Look what I'm wearing, a blue,
really
a
can't.
blue shirt and painter's jeans. And Flip flops. Look at this.
He
So-
still can't tie his shoes.
Yeah.
No, I never
I lived
learned.
with him a year, and I tried to teach him every day, and it just.
I
never
either wear
took.
my bunny slippers or these. That's it. That's all I can do. So how do you create these costumes then? Wow.
Because that was us at Keith's Comics this past Halloween, right? That was a Walking Dead-esque
Yes.
type zombie.
On I think the first episode of Walking Dead, remember the girl and her like mouth was.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know how to do the mouth, so I just did like brains coming out of my head.
It's a good substitute.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
I think it still translates. I think people know who you are. But like the costume we saw just a minute ago, and what was that one?
Shadowcat.
Shadowcat. How do you? I mean, do you sew that? Do you buy it somewhere? Do your parents? How do you make that?
Well, my mom sewed the costume together, and then luckily my uncle and aunt got me a purple dragon for Christmas, and Lockheed was born.
Awesome.
Nice.
I think that's how it happened in the comics, too.
Yeah.
I think Kitty just got one for Christmas.
Story within stories. Well, I'll tell you what, Reese, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Obviously, we want you to go over this. I want you to explain Einstein's theory of the general theory of relativity and the special theory of relativity to me in just a bit. Can you do that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, let's take a quick.
There are two different kinds.
Oh, no, actually, we're gonna play the video at the end of the next segment. So we're just gonna take a quick break to give everybody a moment to reset, and we'll be right back with Reese from Super 6.
Thank you.